Lucy, are you here? Lucy?
Oh, Mina.
Look at you, Lucy. You haven't been in bed all the day long.
I suppose I have been, yes. What time is it?
Nearly 5 o'clock. Lucy, are you ill?
My throat.
Aha! What did I tell you? You have caught cold from standing out in that storm.
Please don't gloat, Mina. Why have you let me sleep so late?
Sound I've been down at the harbour all day.
The harbour?
Yes, don't you remember? The shipwreck, the storm?
Oh, yes. It seemed so like a dream. Oh, last night.
No, you don't. Get up now, Lucy. Here, let me feel of your forehead.
Oh, please, Mina, you're forever fussing over me. I'm not a child.
I beg your pardon. I'll leave you alone.
Oh, I didn't mean for you to go.
I want to wash up anyway. I'm rather tired myself. I thought I'd have a nap.
Wait. You can't go off without telling me about that ship. I'm dying of curiosity.
Are you? Very well. Lucy, never again in my life do I hope to witness such an eerie sight. There was the ship, all shrouded in fog, looming up out of the night like some great groaning behemoth. Constables were rushing about the decks with their lanterns looking for the crew. Do you know what, Lucy? What? There wasn't a single living human soul on board.
Not a soul?
No. So the men went out in boats to see if perhaps the sailors had jumped overboard and were in need of rescue. That's what took all day. Half the town waiting at the pier, praying, hoping.
It was no use.
No. May God rest their souls.
Won't the cottages of our superstitious old fishermen be filled with ghost stories tonight?
I have quite an earful already today. But perhaps we'll have the true story once the authorities have a look at the captain's log. Trouble is, it's written in Romanian and wants translating.
Romanian? Why, isn't that where your Jonathan's been? Romania.
Yes, well, Lucy, I didn't think. Do you suppose there might be a postal shipment on board? The letter from Jonathan? I must go back.
Wait, tell me more.
That's all there is.
What about the dog?
Dog?
Wasn't there a dog on the ship?
Well, yes, there was. How did you know?
Well, I must have overheard one of the servants when I was sleeping.
Yes, well, there was a dog. Though, like you, I only heard about it. The harbour master said an enormous black dog, more like a wolf, leapt off deck the moment the ship hit shore and bolted away, swift as a shadow. Of course, it was still a good hour before dawn, so no one could see very well. They think it ran up your cliff here and into the cemetery.
Poor, frightened creature.
Yes, but it was the crew of that ship we were most concerned of.
No helping them, they're dead. Do you know what, Mina? While you're having your nap, I believe I'll go out and find that dog.
But Lucy, you can't.
Why not?
Don't you know how dangerous a beast is when frightened? In its panic, it might attack. What if it's disease?
Then it requires our pity all the more.
What about your coat?
Oh, I'll bundle up. The cemetery's only 5 minutes' walk. I shan't be long.
What about Arthur?
Oh, what a bout, what a bout. Mina, I'm a 19-year-old woman. I don't need my fiancé's permission. As a matter of fact, I believe Arthur would approve. A nice big dog could provide me protection. Oh, why must I explain everything I feel and everything I do? If Arthur doesn't like my having a dog, I'll simply marry somebody else.
Lucy, in mentioning Arthur, I only meant to remind you he's expected for supper.
I'll be back in time.
Miss Lucy's.
Oh, good Sarah. Fetch me a dress and cloak. I'm going out.
But to miss you, a guest?
Arthur already?
No, Mum. It's Dr. Seward.
Jack? Jack Seward? Oh, why, what is he doing here?
He was down at the harbour like the rest of us, helping out with that ship. He said since he was, well, in the neighbourhood. Shall I tell him you're away?
No, Sarah. Since he's here, send him in. I'll need a few minutes to get dressed, though.
You'll be wanting tea up here, then?
Yes, that'll be fine. Well? Mina, aren't you going to ask me about him?
I assume he was your mother's physician.
You're wrong. A half year ago, the good doctor actually proposed marriage to me.
Awkward.
I suppose so a bit, particularly since it was he who introduced me to Arthur.
Dear.
Oh, shall I tell you something else? Just before your own engagement, I actually considered introducing Jack to you. Oh, he's really quite a charming man, is Jack. Terribly brilliant. He has his very own little hospital not far from here.
Thank you, but I'm more than satisfied with my own charming and brilliant young attorney.
Well, you may change your mind once you've met Jack.
For shame, Lucy. How could you even jest about such a thing?
Oh, I suppose you're right, Mina. Now that I think of it, you and the doctor would make rather a poor match. Well, after all, you're a school teacher, and you like your people to be very staid and proper. While Jack, well, his time is spent in the company of lunatics.
Lunatics, you say?
Yes. Can you imagine yourself making a home of an insane asylum? Neither could I. So instead I chose Arthur Holmwood for my fiancé. A dashing young peer of the realm, so dreadfully rich, he'll never have to make his living dashing off to Transylvanian castles or tossing madmen into padded cells.
Lucy, what's come over you? Never have heard you talk this way before.
Haven't you?
Party, Miss. Dr. Seward's just outside.
Mina, do be a dear and chat with him while I get dressed.
Very well.
I'll fetch your clothes, Miss.
Oh, my looking glass and brush too, Sarah, and then tea for our guest.
Dr. Seward.
John Seward, yes.
How do you do? I'm Wilhelmina Murray.
Pleased to meet you. A friend of Lucy's, of Miss Western.
Yes, we were schoolgirls together.
Miss Lucy there directly.
Oh, good.
Won't you be seated, Dr. Seward?
Yes, thank you.
Sarah said you were down at the harbour.
Yes.
So was I.
Sorry, don't recall seeing you.
Nor are you.
Quite a little mystery, that ship, what?
Say so. You haven't by any chance heard anything more?
Depends upon what you've heard.
Very little. No crew, a ship's log written in Romanian. I was wondering, though, if there might be postal delivery on board.
Postal?
My fiancé, you see, is away on business.
Your fiancé?
Yes, in Transylvania.
Oh, well, Miss Murray, you may be in luck.
Yes?
I was allowed on board ship. While down in the hold, I noticed a quantity of wooden boxes bearing a customs stamp from Transylvania.
And there might be letters, too, mightn't there? Joy. Please excuse me, won't you? Lucy, I've got to run back down to the harbour. Lucy, do come away from there and see to your guest.
The poor beast.
What?
Can't you hear it? The dog howling.
No, now please, Lucy, come. Tell you what, since you're so concerned over that dog, I'll go past the cemetery and see if it's there. Do stand up, Lucy. I'll help you with your dress. Lucy, nothing.